Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's me, Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. And thank you so much for watching the videos. I appreciate it. So let's get into it. Marriage Boot Camp Season 8, Episode 8, the finale. So we start off with Paula. She's leaving the house from the last episode, and she's upset, she's mad because she's been kicked out the house, number one. Then on top of that, she was called a black piece of shit by some racist ignorant maggot named Farrah, with the puffy face, with the ding dong lips, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, as Paula's leaving, she says that she hates Chad and all that other good stuff, and she says she hopes he dies. But we all know that she's under the influence of alcohol, and the alcohol is available in the house, sitting there waiting for her to drink. It's just like if you had an eating disorder and there's nothing but cheese, cake, snacks, and all that stuff around, and you're trying not to eat that unhealthy food, you're going to be tempted, and most likely you're going to eat. Just like if you have marijuana, crack, cocaine laying around and you have a problem with it or you use it, you're going to take advantage of it. So anyways, she's upset, and then on top of that, she doesn't feel like her son defended her at all, or she feels like he doesn't have her back, period, because he brought Paula into the situation. Paula is one of the guests in this house that's never really been on reality TV or anything like that. She doesn't have, a background in media like Farrah's mother and father, Mike's the situation. I don't know if his brother's been on TV. Kendra, she's been on TV, and also Patti has been on TV, and Deborah has been on TV before. But this is a whole new situation for Paula, so I don't really know if she does drink on the show, if she really does have a substance abuse problem, because being in this environment and being filmed and having your deepest, darkest secret being revealed, and being around a bunch of other people that you don't know, and people that are acting for attention like Farrah and her family, is ridiculous. So, and anyways, let's get back to Deborah. Deborah bounced the house to go get engaged, and now I know that was a ploy, and Farrah and Deborah are only here for TV because we know Deborah has a show now where she's going to be getting married, and Farrah is going to be the maid of honor. So all this was a ploy. The Abrams did not belong on this show, period, at all. It was to lead up to them, because I bet you Farrah was shopping around to get her mother's marriage wedding on TV, and it's going to be on TV. I hope nobody watches. And then her mother's going to choose Farrah to be the maid of honor. So we all know that this is all fake between them. Like, they wasn't here for nothing. And it's so terrible because, Farrah really interfered, and the partial destruction of Chad and Paula's trying to mend their relationship, because she was instigating the whole time. But I must give Deborah props, because when Chad said, I'm sorry for my mom's behavior, and I just wanted to know if it's okay if my mom comes back in the house, which he didn't have to ask for permission or whatever, but he was like, if it's okay with you, is it okay? And so, Deborah was like, yeah, it's okay with me. I want you and your mom to build your relationship, and you guys made a lot of progress, and I don't want to interfere in that. And I believe, Deborah felt at the moment that she knows why her and her daughter was here, and she didn't really want to infringe and mess up on the, relationship of Chad and his mom. So I could be wrong about that, but I know Deborah has a TV special where she's going to be getting married, and Farrah's the maid of honor. Worst decision ever to have Farrah as the maid of honor. So anyways, we get to Michael and Farrah sitting on the couch or whatever, and Mike saying, I hope that bitch doesn't walk through the door and spit on me or spit in my direction. And then Farrah goes, oh, she spit on mom. And then Michael, the father, says to Farrah, let's not escalate the situation anymore, Farrah. So basically, even Michael, the father, knows that his daughter escalated that situation, and she helped blow that situation out of proportion because she knows that Paula was drinking and she kept bringing up alcoholism. And also Farrah, started to call Paula trash. She was calling Paula trash at least 3 times. And that's when, Paula said, trailer park trash. Paula would have never called her trash until Farrah was saying, you trailer park, until Farrah was calling her trash, you're trash, you shouldn't be here. And so then that's when, Paula instinctively said trailer park trash. She didn't address her race. She addressed a location where people live at. Anybody can live in a trailer park. But the way that Farrah addressed, Paula's race, and she offended everybody and she doesn't care, and she meant to do that, shows you that she's not a good person. Flip her ugly ass inside out, but she'll still be ugly with her ding dong lips and her puffy face and her messed up built body. Look like she got 2 bowling balls with a little tennis ball on the back as a butt, because all of them injection. Take them injection, take them extensions, take the makeup, take all the Botox and injections out, and then you'll see what you get. A nothing looking bitch. And she's still a nothing looking bitch with all that. And then it's sad that she's a mother, that she's raising a child. Her daughter's going to be terrible just like her. Her daughter's going to even be worse. Watching her behavior, her daughter's friends are going to show her clips of her mother and all that stuff. And Farrah treating her mom and her father like the way that she does, her daughter's going to be 10 times worse, because children learn behavior and they're learning from Farrah how to behave and how to treat adults. And so her daughter is going to give her hell on wheels, and I can't wait to watch. But you know what's going to happen? Farrah's going to use her daughter as a TV ploy to be on TV. Oh, my daughter's so out of control. You watch. Mark my words. So anyways, Kendra, she's upset. She's going off. She was like, I'm not going to let, Farrah get away with throwing the race car. She offended me. She offended my sons and my husband. And so, Patti said she offended me as well. And Farrah was like, you guys are not just going to throw this shit under the carpet, because they had all the families meet in the foyer or whatever. And Farrah was like, Kendra was like, you guys are not just going to throw this under the carpet and let her get away with it. Then Farrah goes Kendra goes to Farrah, the maggot. So the cameraman, look at the cameraman. Is he a piece of shit? Look at the doctor. Is he a piece of shit? And so then Farrah was like, oh, I was being attacked. Farrah, you wasn't being attacked. You was instigating that attack. You wanted that attack. You wanted that attention because you threw a jacket at Paula and you threw a plate and you called her a racist name. So you were attacking. You were the aggressor. You were the person that was looking for the attention and wanted the attention. And you used Paula as bait to get your attention, to get things done for you. That's what you did, Farrah. Farrah the maggot. So anyways, so Kendra is like, you can't sweep this under the rug. You can't get away with this. What you said was wrong. You racist piece of shit. Kendra didn't say she's a racist, a Caucasian piece of shit. She just called her a piece of shit. But Farrah used her race to attack. And I didn't try to offend all of America, everybody in the whole world. Yes, you did. And that's what you wanted to do. Because if you only wanted to offend Paula, you would have said, Paula, you are a piece of this. Paula, you are a piece of that. No, you wanted to offend everybody. And your true colors got pulled. And Paula pulled them because you could not verbally combat Paula. Farrah the maggot. Maggots are like trash. They you can't teach a maggot anything. Only thing a maggot does is know how to squirm around, and that's what Farrah the maggot is. She just squirms around, looking for sympathy from somebody and always crying. These fake tears. You know why she can cry so easy? She just goes like this to her skin and the Botox come out through her eyes, so that's how she can cry. So anyways, Deborah was like, I'm embarrassed. I was like, oh shit, Deborah got feelings. Deborah was like, I'm embarrassed for my daughter's behavior. She ended up, giving Chad a hug or whatever. And Chad is like, he doesn't want to hear Farrah apology or Farrah say sorry or anything like that, because she has consistently said sorry and apologized for her behavior since she's been here, and nothing has changed. So it ain't working. Because, and the doctors didn't really call Farrah out on her behavior. It was like, oh, you have a slick tongue. You have a vicious tongue. That's it. But, the doctors called out Mark. Called out Mark, and Dr. V called Mark an asshole, a shithead, but she didn't call out, Farrah for saying that racist comment. She didn't call out Farrah for telling Paula, oh, I hope somebody beats you. I hope you go to jail and get beat. I hope somebody beats your face and all that other stuff. They didn't call Farrah out on that. They own, you know what I mean? So it's like they pick and choose who they call out. So it is what it is, right? Yep, it's some bullshit. That's what it is. And then for Dr. Ish to say that, he runs a substance abuse counselor, he specializes in substance abuse, and why the hell is the Vok and Absolute sitting around the house? Like, what kind of credibility, what kind of credit do you have? You know what I mean? To say that, you run a facility with people with substance abuse problems and extreme substance abuse, like a rehab center or whatever, but yet, Paula's coming back in the house and there's Absolute sitting everywhere, So, what is the oath that you doctors take? I don't know. Well, I do know, but do you know? Because you're clearly not displaying this on this show. So anyways, moving forward. So Chad doesn't want to hear anything, and he feels like Farrah's never going to have a breaking point. But Chad, you should have, at least address Michael. Probably not the woman, but address Michael the way that he yelled and screamed in your mother's face. And I know, like, you feel like your mom is the problem or whatever because she is drinking, but I bet that she don't even drink like this in her regular life. But you pulled your mother on this show, so you should have more. You should be protecting your mother way more than you have been protecting your mother, because she's not used to this type of limelight or being on reality TV like you are. You know what I'm saying? And plus, on top of that, you're a football player, so you're used to pressure. You're used to being on TV. She's not. And you're pulling all types of different cards, which is not cool. And I don't know why my mic keeps making that noise. Am I breathing too hard? What the hell? So anyways, we get to Mark. Mark is talking to Farrah and saying to Farrah, when Paula shows up, are you going to apologize to her? And then Farrah immediately goes, I'm not going to apologize to her. We should apologize to each other. No one's going to apologize to a maggot. Only thing people do with maggots is pour Clorox, bleach, and ammonia on it for them to disappear, or spray some insects or some repellent. That's what you are. You need to be sprayed with repellent. You need to be like expelled. You need to disappear. You need to deteriorate. You need to go. And plus, on top of that, you got them droopy eyes. We could tell all the Botox in your droopy eyes, around your eyes, looking like you are not all there in the head. So anyways, Farrah the maggot. So we know where Farrah's coming from. She don't give a shit. She don't care, because it was just good for TV, and she was only there to get a wedding special for her mother. And that's why Deborah left and made that big old scene so it could be talked about. And then some network can pick it up. I'm not even gonna say the shitty network that picked it up, but anyways. So we get to the evaluation, the final evaluation, where it's the New Year's celebration, where everyone has to read their resolution that they want for their family member, whatever. So we get to Mike, his resolution for Maximo to remain. Maximo says this is Maximo's resolution for Mike. To have respect and to continue to respect, to remain, to call Maximo by his name, and to to respect him or whatever. So but Mike reads it backwards and says, I will continue to respect my brother and call him Maximo. And so Dr. V, she calls out Mike, and she goes, you're not giving your brother respect because you're reading it wrong. That's not what he said. He said to respect him, and you switched up the word and said continue to respect him. So Mike was like, oh, you caught that? And so Maximo was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Maximo is dramatic, though. Come on, he's in everybody's gossip and everybody's business, and it is what it is. He should have been spending more time with his brothers, because they're facing years in prison. So anyways, it is what it is. And so then Maximo to Mark, I promise to have, this is Mark to Maximo, I promise to have thicker skin. I would not be so dramatic. And so Maximo says, see, that was a jab. See, you guys don't get it. That was a jab. And, and then Dr. V says, that Mark is an asshole, a shithead, and then Mark's resolution is to Maximo: I will treat him with respect, not be a little, make him feel less than a man or whatever. I know. And then Maximo starts to cry, and then Chad is laughing, and so what Mark said to Maximo was so disrespectful, saying I would have thicker skin, and I would be less dramatic and not have all the dramatic behavior or whatever, traumatizing behavior. And so then that's when Dr. V calls Mark an asshole and a shithead and all this other stuff, and Chad is just laughing, and Chad was like, oh no, this is good, awesome, fucking awesome. And Maximo just wants to be for Mark to stop fucking crying already. That's what Mark says to Maximo: stop fucking crying already, stop bitching. And so then Dr. V jumps in, and Dr. Ish jumps in and said, this is what I'm talking about. Just because you guys are family doesn't mean that you can treat him like this and you're always going to be together, And so then Dr. V is calling him an asshole, shithead, and all this other stuff. So Dr. V said, do you realize how cruel you are to Mark? Dr. V says, Mark, do you realize how cruel you are, how mean you are? You have been a shithead this whole time. Mark has been a shithead, but in a funny way. I don't know, it's because they're brothers. And Mark has really been hard on Maximo, but we know where that comes from. It comes from their childhood. And Maximo is very sensitive because of his childhood, because he felt like he was always treated differently. And, Mark and, Mike has faced most of the abuse growing up from their father. And it was funny how, what's his name? Mike was just like, I would feel bad if my family member wrote a book or whatever, because it's for publicity or whatever, because, Mike's situation is addressing, his father was going to write a book about him or whatever. And he was like, this is terrible. And he couldn't believe it. And so both of the brothers, called the father a fuckhead, fuck him or whatever. So I guess the father was going to write a book about Mike, the situation. I wonder what that would have been a good book. It's supposed to be like a tell-all book, but I guess they stopped that dead in the tracks. So it is what it is. It is what it is. These people need some help. So anyways, it is what it is. And so then now it's Michael's turn. From Farrah to Michael: this year I will show respect, involvement in my daughter and granddaughter's life, and live separate from my ex-wife or whatever. So then Farrah, resolution that Michael wrote to her: I would allow my father the opportunity to earn my respect and need to call him father. And Farrah, like how can they parent this maggot anymore? They raised this maggot. She's a fly now, and she just turned into maggots. She's just a maggot. So how can they do anything with this maggot? She's a vicious, evil, despiteful, deceitful human being, and she's very ugly and rotten inside. And she's just despicable and disgusting. They raised this vile creature, and they have to deal with the consequences of it. Too bad they cannot save their granddaughter Sophia from their mother, the maggot Farrah. So it is what it is. So what are you going to do about it? And so anyways, DEBRA, resolution for Farrah is: I will have a relationship. I will have an honest relationship. I will communicate, and to expand our family and allow others into the family. And Farrah's not feeling that, because she doesn't want her mother to be with this guy, whatever that she's engaged to, but yet Farrah's going to be the maid of honor at her mother's wedding. So it was all a plot for TV. It's just. And then she was like, then Farrah goes, I'm not going to let anybody be around my daughter that hasn't been around for a year. If your daughter's around you, your daughter can be around anybody, because you're vile. You're despicable. I can't, you're a speck. You're just, so disgusting, so despicable, and just such a vile human being. You're so negative. You're so draining. Your daughter just needs, hopefully your daughter's family is around to give her love and support and show her what being normal is, and not always doing everything for TV, because that's what you are, Farrah, a TV, a seeking maggot, and a whore. Because you jumped in everybody's business this season. You got into it with everybody. Paula only got into it with you and your father, because your father was trying to defend his check. But you got into it with everybody. From the day one, you got into it with other people that in the house. So anyways, Farrah's resolution for her mother was she would stop lying, live a separate life from her ex-husband. And so, DEBRA is like, look, so much anger behind that. It's another poke, it's another dig, and the doctors feel the same way too. And then Dr. V also addresses how evil and how rude and how disrespectful and low down and dirty Farrah was to her mother out on the patio the other day. And I was telling you about how terrible she was to her mother. And it was like, they was telling Farrah, your behavior is cruel, and nothing's going to change. And then Dr. V also addressed that her parents are not really parents anymore. No, how are they going to be parents? Farrah took over. She started to earn money, support her family, and then she took control, and she used them and abused them, and she will continue. And then we also find out that DEBRA never did abuse Farrah. I told you she didn't abuse her. Farrah just called the cops and trying to get publicity, trying to get a story out there, and she was poking her mom, because if DEBRA didn't fight back with Paula, there's no way she was gonna fight back with Farrah. Come on. So anyways, it is what it is. And so we get to Patti and Kendra's relationship, and the resolution for Kendra was work to include Patti into the grandchildren's life, and it'd be all about them or whatever. And Kendra says that's doable. I can include my mother into my life, and I can work with my mother and also include her in my children's life. And then Patti's resolution for Kendra was, if I was writing a book, with the thought because of the effort would lose my daughter and grandkids again, would let let the past come back in. My daughter needs me more than she thinks. So, Kendra's basically saying that she needs her mother more than her mother thinks that she does need her. And she doesn't really want her mom to write a tell-all book, because people really want to know about, Kendra, tell all about Kendra and her family or whatever. So it is what it is. So that's what Mike says. He'll be worried if somebody in his family was going to write a tell-all book, because he was about to go through that situation with his father, and then both of the boys said, fuck that. And so then one person so one person cannot, so much deceptive, which was Michael. Like they couldn't even take his lie detector test, because he was trying to cheat the test, and he knows how to cheat the test. So he's clearly out. And Mike, the situation, and his brothers, they make fun. It was like, so you did cheat on, DEBRA with 27 women, or 20 times. And it was like, oh my God, Michael, you're such a big loser. And it was like, OMG. Maximo was like, yeah, that's crazy. So they're on the couch, they're laughing at them, because everyone knows that they're not here for change or for help. And for him to lie and try to cheat the lie detector test just shows you. I believe I predicted that Mike wasn't going to, he hasn't abused drugs at all. So I'm glad that. And so anyways, it is what it is. So then Mark says, I don't think boot camp is working for, Frank, because, Mark is saying that Frank is all in everybody's business. And then when you try to address Frank when roommates are around, he gets even more dramatic. He shows even more up for the camera, that like this is not working for him, because he got cameras, he has attention, he has people around him. So he's just being extra dramatic than usual. He's already dramatic, but he's being extra now because he has roommates and people to listen to him. But it's so wrong. And so Mike says Maximo lies a lot. He lies a lot. He was like, he lies so much that, he's like currency. If you take a dollar bill and you put it up to the light, you can see right through it. And so, Mike is saying that, Maximo's fake. But he's hurting. He's in pain too as well. They're all in pain. And they probably need to seek more counseling and more help. So anyways, Paula's back. She's into the house. Both of the doctors give her a hug, them fake hugs. They give her a hug or whatever. And Paula does look good. She looks great. And they bring Paula into a room to talk to her or whatever. And Chad is like, he's happy that his mother didn't quit. They bring Chad in the room. They hug each other. They tell each other that they love each other. And they also inform Paula that her lie detector test did not work and she was drinking. I could have fucking told you that when you take a lie detector test, you're not supposed to have any substance in your body because you clearly can't detect the heartbeat, motherfuckers, or their pulse frequency, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, and the doctors already knew that, you know what I mean? She had to drink while she was in there taking the lie detector test or whatever. So anyways, at this moment, Paula and Chad, they look good, they look nice together, they look calm, and they say they love each other, they hug each other and it's happy, and he's holding his mother and she's holding her son, and she looks very, happy and everything. So anyways, Maximo's outside talking to Farrah about, oh, what are you gonna do? Paula's back and blah 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 and all this other stuff. And that scene, Farrah the Maggot looked like an old prostitute washed up in all black. It is what it is. So anyways, Kendra's losing it over the book or whatever. She's losing over the book. She's still trying to think. She's hoping her mother won't do the book. So anyways, Paula, she goes right to her Absolute Vodka and Ruby Red to be in that house with Farrah. Is crazy. So, but then Maximo instigates why Paula and Farrah the Maggot are in the same room. Maximo says to Paula, "Isn't it great to see you two together?" And she was like, "Who, me and my son?" Paula says. He goes, "No, you and her." She was like, cut that shit." And he was instigating to get a scene started. That's why his brother was like, he likes the dramatics, he likes the drama. So anyways, we get to the final decision. So it's time for the lie detectors to be revealed and whether the family are going to choose to stay together. So we get to, Mark. He passes his lie detector test. He doesn't feel any like madness towards Mike or a feeling that, resentful towards Mike because of the legal situation, and he was telling the truth. He's passed. Maximo, the question was, do you choose family over fame? Maximo says no. He was telling the truth. And then you get Mike, have you been clean since rehab? He's the lie detector revealed that he was telling the truth. But at the end of the day, Mark and Mike, the situation, chose each other, chose their family. But Maximo didn't choose his family. He chose to walk away. Dr. V and Dr. Ish says he's the bravest of them all. Whatever. Brother's about to do some years. You gonna walk out on them like that? So then we find out that Mike and Mark has been indicted, and Mike could be facing up to 15 years, and in their fraud case, and also Mark can be facing more than 15 years. Some bullshit. But Maximo says that he's going to visit his brothers in jail, even though they don't call him Maximo. They won't call him Maximo. They keep addressing him by Frank. So anyway, so it's time for the Johnsons. The Johnsons get in, and Paula brings in her Ruby Red. She has her glass in, and it was like, "Oh, I can't believe you have your glass." She was like, "I ain't trying to hide it from you. You motherfuckers got the Ruby Red and the Absolute sitting there. Which you want me not to drink, or I gotta come in here and deal with you motherfuckers too that didn't have my back when I was being racial slurs was coming at me and all this other stuff, and then I had a man in my face yelling and screaming, So anyway, so Paula got her drink. So now the doctor is just like, "Oh, well, I might think your problem is really worse than what it is." How can you now think her problem is worse than what it is? What kind of fucking doctors are you guys? So anyways, Paula, Paula lie detector test didn't work because she was intoxicated or whatever. And so they didn't even reveal Chad's lie detector test. I don't remember them revealing his lie detector test or whatever. But Chad said he loves his mother to death. He will always love her, whatever. And then they bring up, Paula fighting with her mother, which is Chad's grandmother. And then they bring up that situation. Paula was like, "Fuck you, fuck this. I'm out. Peace. Ghost." Paula don't want to hear that shit anymore. She just got back from the hotel, number one. And then on top of that, she was attacked. And now you guys are trying to bring up her the situation with the grandmother not being here, not knowing the background of it, and then Chad bring that in. So she was like, fuck y'all, peace, I'm out. And so Dr. Ish is following her up the stairs, and she was like, stop following me, motherfucker. And so Dr. V is downstairs talking to Chad, talking about, oh, this is what you're gonna have to deal with your mother. Are you ready to deal with it? He's like, yes, I am. And so she was like she's always gonna be like this. You see, she wants the ruby red and vodka. So then Paula goes back downstairs to try to get a drink, and the Dr. V tells Chad to grab the drink or whatever. So it is what it is. And so Dr. Ish tells Paula, if she doesn't want to continue with this process, she has to leave. She goes, peace, deuces. And so she bounces or whatever. And so Chad stays around. They ask Chad to reveal if you want to stay with your family. He picked his family. So did Paula. She picked Chad. And so they're gonna give them some help or whatever. And Dr. Ish says, even though that your mother walked out on this process, but she still got love for you here because she chose to be with you and he chose his mother. I believe they're going to work this situation out. I believe that doing it on public TV and having all these other people around really didn't help the process, but it interfered with their process of help. So anyways, Chad said he's going to continue to be a better father. He's going to use the tools to help him and his family. Paula has not sought treatment. I believe she hasn't sought treatment because she doesn't have a problem. That show is a goddamn problem. So anyways, Paula, one love. To me, you're good. You're good. And bless you. So anyways, it is what it is. And so, when Dr. Ish is chasing Paul up the stairs, he was like, you've been running for 38 years. And she was like, motherfuckers, don't follow me. And so then Chad was like, you know what? I'm going to still follow my mother. I'm going to still chase. I'm going to put on my cleats. I'm going to put on my football shoes. I'm going to still chase her, and I'm going to support her. And so Paula was like, I don't need his help. I don't need nobody's help. I got here all by myself. And Paula goes, this motherfucker disowned me when he got in the NFL. So I don't give a fuck. I can take care of myself. I can do it myself, and blah, blah, blah. And so Chad is just sitting there. So hopefully, we get an update that Chad and his mother are working it out, and she becomes a part of his life and the grandkids' life, and they can work it out because she is a smart woman and she does have a lot to offer. So does Chad as well. So hopefully she can get the counseling that she needs for the pain and the hurt that she really deeply has inside, and the show could never really could even touch on because they got alcohol sitting everywhere. It's just like having jelly donuts and all types of shit sitting around for someone that has an addiction just to be sitting there. When you go to rehab, do you have alcohol laying around? No, motherfuckers. No. Motherfucking doctors are too much. So anyways, Farrah and her family, Farrah chooses nobody. Of course, maggots don't choose anybody. Maggots just dig around in the trash and get their food and leave. Yeah, maggot. And so then, what is his name? Michael, he chooses only Farrah because he needs that paycheck, and he's dependent on that witch. Oh my God, I can't believe you're that weak, Michael. And so then, Deborah, she chooses Farrah. I think she only chooses Farrah because she just wants to be a part of her granddaughter's life. But, it's revealed that Farrah loves, her mother. I don't know what Farrah believed love is, but it's also revealed that Deborah did not abuse Farrah. So Farrah's a lying sack of shit. She's a lying piece of shit. She's like flies on shit. She's like maggots on shit. She's like everything. She just lied and tried to demean her mother's character because she wasn't abused. You lying sack of shit. You instigator. So anyways, the lying sack of shit, maggot, Farrah, chooses herself. Of course she's going to choose herself. And because it's only about her. Only reason why her family is on the show with her is because she needed to bring her family on to make money to be on TV. Because she's an attention whore. She needs to go back to porn and choke on some dicks. So anyways, then after that they do the update, and Farrah is she says she's surrounding herself around better women. No good woman and no better woman will be around you. If anybody's around you hanging and chilling, they're just like you. No good person, no good woman, no stand-up mother will be around you, Farrah. Nobody with any common decency, any common sense, any integrity would even have you around in their midst at all, period. So let's get that straight. So anyways, it is what it is. So what's his name, Michael, he shits on Deborah, whatever, you know, he needs to shit on himself. So anyways, you know, it's Kendra's turn. It was like, Kendra, are you here for only to repair your relationship for TV? And Kendra said no, and the lie detectives determined that she was telling the truth. I kind of sensed that. She wants her mother around because she's raising 2 kids. She needs her mother, and there's a lot of other situations going on where she does need her mother in her life, that support. But, you know, there's a trust issue because she doesn't know sometimes where it's TV and where it's real at. And so Patti question was, do you like Hank? Do you think, you know, Kendra made the right decision marrying Hank? And do you like Hank and all that other stuff? And it says yes. She said yes. That she thinks Hank is a good partner for Kendra. I think that was the question. And Deborah said, and then Patti said yes, and it determined that that was the truth. So basically, Kendra and Farrah, Kendra and Patti, they hug each other, they cry, and hopefully they're probably slowly going to work on their relationship. But their relationship is cool now, but Patti has not seen the grandkids yet. So anyways, Dr. Ish, Dr. V, Patti, and Kendra drinking champagne. Kendra, you know, Kendra likes to win. Kendra's on top. So anyways, peace. I'm out. Thanks for watching. From the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples, thank you.